Well, TickieTockie, it's Hump Day. I think it's time again for another adult story time. Gather round, gather round. Now, this story time is about the stand-in that I interviewed to be in my content, my spicy adult erotic creations. Ooh, and he was local. Ooh, and guess what? He looked just like the Philly nigga. Yeah. We went out after he had did the application process, and we did a short phone interview. And after he had did several emails to me, okay, he found me on my Twitter timeline, ATL_victory. We went out to the Mexican. Yeah, he came out this way, and we met for an interview. So prior to us actually meeting at the Mexican restaurant, okay, I saw what he was working with on camera, and we talked about some things, our absolute yeses and our hard no's, because this is all about consent when we were dealing with spicy content, right? Okay, so we talked about that. I saw him on the FaceTime. I knew what he was working with in his package in his man meat area, and he knows what I went through as far as the whole content creating process. He did the application process, and also he goes to the VA and gets tested on the regular because he's on prep. And that was like, okay, green flags here, green flags here. But he knew what I went through. He knew what my expectations was, and I knew that he would possibly be a good partner, and he was actually considering a side hustle of doing spicy content. This is something that he wanted to do for me as goddess. He's a spiritual being as well too. But just because he's a spiritual person, that does not mean that he practices what I do, which is sex and spirituality is one and the same for me. It's not separate. And I do a lot of sex magic when I do my sexy content and when I choose a new partner. Yeah, I do. I pray on my pum pum. Yes, I do on my yoni. I steam her, and I call in certain things into my life in my spiritual realm and in my yoni sanctuary over here to the right, ladies and gentlemen, at the De La Casa, the Pussy Palace Pink. But this gentleman got an opportunity to come to my house on a weekday, okay, and get to give me some head. So he says he drove all the way from Austell, which is all the way by Six Flags, and I'm over here by North Point Mall, Alpharetta, almost here in Fulton County, which is an hour-long ride to come just to give me some head. So I took it up as an opportunity, okay, because I had been on a sex fast for quite some time. So after those nights of watching him pleasure himself on FaceTime, and I was like, okay, you coming all the way over here to see what a video me just to give me some head? Oh my goodness, I didn't turn that down. I'm on a sex fast too. And the universe puts me on these sex fasts sometimes because, once again, my pum pum energy, my yoni power is something that I take very seriously, and sometimes the divine, she just blocks things on my behalf. And what can I do? I don't fight it anymore. I used to fight it, but it was just like a slippery slope, a battle that I was losing. So yeah, I don't do that anymore. So when I have a drought, okay, of the fleshtivities, I'm okay with it. But he came over here on a pre-summer afternoon. He drove a whole hour to please me, and yes, it was good, it was great, but guess what? He threw up after the sex, and I'm pretty sure it went to his head. He probably thought that, being that he is a spiritual person too, I'm pretty sure after we had sex, he had a long conversation with his elders, just overthinking the fact that he threw up and thinking about the voodoo that you do, because he had already consulted with his elders regarding the sex magic that I had told him that we should do, because he, like myself, could use some more shmoney's in his life, okay? And why not do some sex magic to call in some currency? Fleshtivities and currency, yeah, why not? Why waste that energy? Remember, I do not separate my sex from my spirituality. So why not use that creation power to create some more shmoney's in your life? So him throwing up, I did comfort him after he had threw up, because he had drove a whole hour. He probably was dehydrated. He had not ate anything. He probably, hit a blunt and hit the highway.